Hello, fellow dreamers, and welcome back to the extended of the winter solstice Yule reading. Um, it's so fascinating because in the extended, there actually is a turn that is being presented in the reading itself, and I hope that you guys can see it being reflected as much as I can. So we're starting off here with the World card. And what I'm seeing is there's a turn. I hope that you can see this. It's like the world is turning around the axis of this six of swords here and then moving into memory. So the fascinating part here is that it's as if this entire second row is actually in reverse. It looks like it's coming through in reverse. So there's a sense that whatever has previously occurred, the things that were lost, the lost love, if you will, all of those really tough emotions to go through. Oh, it's like there is going to be a return of that. It's as if the energy is actually reversing in a sense. So it's like a hairpin turnaround. So, and even when we look at the the solar the way that we orbit around the sun, our ecliptic, it goes all the way far to the farthest point, and that's where that winter solstice is. And then it comes right back around towards the sun. So there is a feeling here that when that turnaround happens, all of the things that you've lost are now returning. There's a reversal in the energy. So I would suspect that you would be able to um, predict for yourself the things that would be returning into your life. And it does feel like this entire reading has to do with love or the memory of connection between, I think that's what it is, because I just got a text message here. And it's like usually when this thing sounds off, it's actually acts as a confirmation. So it's the memory of connection that is reestablishing itself in our lives, in all of our lives, in the entire world, essentially. So I'm gonna read this as if we're going backwards. And and with this, it's like we're starting off here with this Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is coming up as a individualized approach to success, if you will, or to maybe in a sense, it's more talking about like lately, as of late, the collective itself, the world, 3 through 3 on the clock, the world has been more focused on self and how to achieve their goals, their dreams, their desires, all of that gorgeous, self-love and enrichment of yourself and the things that you want to achieve. And we've come into a place where all of that stuff has been accomplished. Now, maybe not all of the things that you want are accomplished, but there's a sense here that you are on that trajectory to accomplishing all of those things. And it's like that accomplishment has started to, in a sense, because you are so very focused, it's like this Nine of Wands energy here. Because you are so very focused on self, which is rightfully so. It's like you're following your instincts. You're following the seasons. You're following the sun. So it's like the sun itself is wanted you to go into these energies, because it was incredibly important for you to reach this place where you were presenting yourself as the one thing that is most important. It's like you had to find your value and your worth and your success and all of those energies that would make you stand out from the crowd. It's like you would be on top of the world, like on this, not on this high horse, but like on top of the world. It's like there's an energy of wanting you to get back to a place where you are on top of the world. And so in order to get into that place, it's like there had to be a focus of self-development. And that's what this Six of Swords, this Nine of Wands, and this world here is talking about, is that we've all been in a place where we're just so concerned with our own self-development that we have, in some ways, actually like put up boundaries against things that appear to be different from that, or different from our view of what this actually means, of what the success means, of what self-development looks like, of what loving yourself is, you know, your value and your worth and everything like that. It's like it actually caused a little bit of separation in the collective itself, because what I'm receiving here is that was all guided and absolutely necessary, because it's like a polarity. It's if you're going out to the furthest point of the polarity, it's like you have to experience that furthest point of the polarity and then come back, right, to the other side of the polarity, which I would assume would be like the summer solstice, for instance. And then you find your balance in the center. It's like, so you have to experience both extremities in order to ultimately actually come into it's coming through as like a pure form of self-development. And it has essentially guided us to kind of alienate ourselves from connection, from this Two of Cups energy, from others that share the same heart resonance. But the fascinating part here is that while this was happening, there was a viewpoint that those others, the other people, did not actually share the same heart resonance, that they were actually foreign or different, or something that maybe actually that you thought was a lower vibrational attachment, something like that. And so it inspired you to kind of move on your own, to isolate yourself, to put yourself in a place where you are going to solely focus on yourself. So that's really fascinating, because lately, I think it was the last moon, it was the crescent moon in Aquarius, actually. It was talking about how we were all kind of going into a space of isolation so that we could mend ourselves and then come back into the collective with our whole being, with our whole selves. And so that's what this is doing. It's like we were all in a space where we were becoming whole again, like this world. It's like, I'm seeing with this world as it being like a piece of the pie, something. What is that? I'm seeing like a pie chart where there were some pieces that were missing, and so we had to become an entire pie. I don't know why. Sometimes the symbolism that I see is very entertaining and fun. So, but okay, so during this winter solstice, I'm being told to focus. During this winter solstice, there is a point that we're coming back around. So we've met the extremity of how far we as a collective want to be away from each other. And now with this Six of Swords, there is a return that is happening here. It's like suddenly we were rowing all the way out there. We're going to get to the furthest reaches, to what is that? Extradite? We were extraditing ourselves all the way out, trying to get away from this attachment or something that is very clingy. It's like feeling the need to have to be attached to people perhaps maybe like asking for a lot of stuff. I don't know why I'm getting very like abrasive here, but that's what it is. It's like there's a moment here where we're all paddling out to the furthest extremities, and then we take this. It's very fun. It's kind of funny because it's like we then take this look back. We then just kind of like look over our shoulders to see how far we've come, and we're realizing that like there's a bunch of memories actually that are coming up. There are a lot of memories that are coming up from the depths, because I often see this memory card as she looks like an oyster to me. I don't know why, but oysters, they reside in the depths. And over time, of course, with the tides coming in and flowing out and all of that, that could even be symbolic of the moon, how the moon's tides coming in and out. They, from one grain of sand, from one instance of love, if you will, there is a built up like a memory bank or pearl, if you will, inside that oyster. And so as we've gone out to the furthest reaches, to perhaps maybe even the furthest depths, if you will, it's like we're pulling up on this memory, on these memories of our interconnectedness with the world. I see the tree here. So this is fascinating because I see the tree as two different things. It comes up, and this card in particular, it comes up with the world tree. It talks about the world tree. So we're witnessing the interconnectedness that we all have with each other. And what I'm feeling here is that there is a longing, there is a desire. With this look back and all of these memories starting to come up again of this love, of the one that you have extradited yourself from or removed yourself, put yourself all the way into the outer bounds of the cosmos, if you will. It's like the further you get away, that's when all of these memories start to pop up. So it's fascinating because we're getting farther away. So we're almost in a sense going deeper, but it's the shortest amount of time, which would be this tiny little pearl that is being presented to us. And that pearl is representative of the acknowledgement that we are all very much interconnected. And now, of course, you could be experiencing this with the entire world. It's kind of like, the love of the world. And what I'm seeing here is there's a vision that's coming over. The Grinch. I'm seeing the Grinch. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's a moment in that movie where he's actually looking over Whoville, and he can see all of them like holding hands, standing around the Christmas tree, and they're like singing their little song and dancing and all of this stuff. And they're in celebration of the winter solstice, of this Yule time, this gorgeous holiday. And if I'm not mistaken, I actually think like light starts to emit from them. And that's what this is referring to. It's referring to that the ones of us that are, in this in this bah humbug or like Grinch type of feeling, if you will. It's like there's an inspiration here of wanting to actually connect. It's like the memories are pulling us to see that we actually want love. You know, of course there is a balance between being in love and then also being able to be, the Six of Wands here is coming through as like autonomy, like being able to go about and do the things that you want to do in an independent way. But it's like not everything has to be like this. There's also a lot of room, because I'm seeing that pie again, there's a lot of room for others to be involved or to share love with you. It's like, it's referring to that love is something that is infinite. There's enough for everyone to go around, in a sense. It's like that pie, right? You wouldn't eat an entire, I mean, I don't know. I might eat an entire pie by myself, but it's beside the point. You wouldn't eat an entire pie by yourself. If you had this huge pie, you would want to share it with everyone. And that's what this is talking about. It's like we're coming into a phase during this winter solstice where we are wanting to share our love with everyone. And even the ones that have totally extradited themselves, they're isolated, they've alienated themselves, or maybe some of us have actually alienated them. It's like all of that wants to be dispelled, because I often see this cloud cover as like a storm. It's not a very pleasant energy, but all of that energy wants to be dispelled. It's like, you see how even this cloud is kind of over her and over her beautiful aspects and all that. You actually can't even really see the world in there. You can a little bit. It's like very faint. Do you see? It's like there's a little bit of land and there's water. She's actually sitting on the world, but you can't see it. And that's what this is talking about. It's like you can't see the entire world, but there's going to be a moment here where you're realizing that we're all very much interconnected, and we all want to be loved, and we all want to love. And so this winter solstice, at the coldest point of the year, the shortest day, the furthest that we are away from the sun, all we really crave, oh my God, I'm getting really emotional. All we really crave is love. And that's what ultimately brings us all together. It's so gorgeous. It's really beautiful. So before I start crying, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me in this extended, and enjoy the season. Enjoy the love. Spread it all around. Have a good day. Bye.